listening to Krystal Clear Lore, a Wormsong production. It was the night before Thanksgiving. Travis and his brother Mike were driving home to celebrate with their family in Flagstaff, Arizona. Both brothers currently lived in Provo, but their folks still lived in Flagstaff in their childhood home. It was quite a long drive, almost 8 hours south along Highway 89. Planning ahead, they had been able to pack before work and left right after they got off the clock. Normally, they'd take the Highway 89A path and avoid the Navajo reservation, even though it was a bit longer. It was a hell of a lot prettier with less traffic, but both groaned loudly as they saw signs saying road construction was all along it. "Fuck that," Travis replied, gripping the steering wheel, shaking his head. "Guess we just stay on 89, Mike responded. "According to good old Google, it should still take us down to Flagstaff. We just have to cut through the res?" "Yep, us and every other schmuck driving to Arizona for the holiday." They drove on in, chatting, listening to the radio and having a good time hanging out together. To their surprise, they found the road was pretty empty. Every other year, there'd been a lot of traffic on 89. I wonder if a lot of folks avoided coming this way due to the road construction," Mike speculated. Travis shrugged. "Doesn't matter to me. I'm just glad that I don't have to deal with any of those hot damn high beams." "Ah, really?" Mike grinned at his brother. "I thought you loved being blinded while you were trying to drive." Travis looked over at Mike and flipped him off, sending Mike into a fit of laughter. He chuckled and had just looked back when he saw a deer on the side of the road. He slammed on his brakes and waited for the deer to cross or take off. The deer didn't move, it just stared at him. "Mike, are you seeing this?" Travis asked incredulously. "Yeah, what's wrong with it?" Mike responded. Travis heard Mike shift in his seat, like he was leaning forward, but he couldn't take his eyes off the deer. It kept staring until it turned its head and walked across the road. At least, if you could consider the weird jerky movements it was making it walk. Travis blinked a few times and glanced at Mike, who had kept staring at the deer. Travis couldn't believe what he was seeing. The deer was sporadic in its movements, like it hadn't figured out how to use all four legs. After a few minutes, it managed to take off on the other side of the road. Travis counted to 20 to make sure there wasn't another deer, and started driving down the road in silence. They had just gotten to Page, a little town with about 7,000 residents, when Travis pulled over at the La Quinta. Mike looked at him. "What are you doing?" Travis parked the car and turned it off. "Look, I don't know what the hell we saw, but I think we shouldn't drive anymore tonight. We're obviously exhausted. Even if home is only a couple more hours off, I say we shoot Mom and Dad a text, get a room, and set out tomorrow." Mike put his face in his hands and sighed. "Yeah, better safe than sorry. I mean, if we're seeing things, that's really not good." "Exactly. Come on." Travis got out, grabbed his bag, and started inside. Mike followed suit.
"You lucked out. We still have a room."
The night desk person was typing on her computer.
"Let's get you all booked and you guys can get some rest."
Travis fell into some small talk with the clerk, paid for the room, and headed to it. Mike right behind him. He yawned a couple times and noticed that Mike had been pretty quiet. "Hey, don't think about it," Travis nudged him. "Shit, why didn't I think of that?" Mike responded. "It was just so wrong. I don't know, it really creeped me out." Travis hesitated for a moment. The thing had creeped him out too, but Mike was his kid brother. It put Travis at a crossroads to either be reassuring or tease him. He chose the latter. "Oh, well, I didn't realize that Mr. Baby Brother was so scared." "Fuck off," Mike responded dryly. "You're freaked out too, or we wouldn't be here." Travis rolled his eyes, pretending that Mike hadn't seen right through him. "Whatever makes you feel better, my poor little brother." They got to the room, set down their bags, and Travis crashed pretty much instantly. He hadn't been fully lying when he said he was exhausted. The fucked up thing they saw was just the straw on the camel's back. He was too damn tired to deal with any of it, even though it was only about 11:30 p.m. They'd figure it out in the morning. Travis, help!" Travis jolted awake only a couple of hours later, disoriented but hearing his brother's voice, whipping his head to the other bed. He saw that Mike's bed was empty. "Travis, help!" the voice called again. Travis jumped out of the bed and stuck his head out into the hallway. Help me!" the voice kept calling to his right. Travis took off, barely even thinking about anything other than his brother was in trouble. He followed the voice right to the door leading outside from the hall. He pushed it open and ran outside. Help! Travis! Mike's voice kept calling for him, getting louder and louder with each step. Travis kept running in the dark until he tripped on something. He fell over it and cursed. When he looked back to see what he had tripped on, he vomited. It was Mike's body, all torn up. Help! Travis! The voice kept calling. Travis was shaking, unsure what to do. He threw up again and started crying. It was as he lifted his head that he saw it. The damn deer from earlier. Travis looked at it, confused, angry, and afraid. What the hell was going on? The deer opened its mouth and called out, Travis, help! Help me! Fear and confusion melted into rage as Travis stepped forward. The deer smiled and shifted into a young Navajo man wearing a deer skin. He smiled, and quicker than Travis could react, the man rushed forward and broke his knees. Screaming, Travis fell to the ground. The man grabbed a knife and slit Travis's throat. As the life left Travis's eyes, the man felt the hot blood spray on him, imbuing him with more power and renewing his contract on life. That afternoon, Sergeant Blackstone of the Page Police Department was called to the La Quinta for a possible missing persons case. Travis and Michael Ballman had checked in, but never checked out, and no one could find them. The sergeant headed in, questioned staff, and went to investigate the room. He shut the door behind him and stared at the ghostly specters of the Ballman brothers as they stood with dozens of others. He smiled and waved at them, earning him a glare in return. Thanks for being such an easy sacrifice, boys. You'll keep me going for a few more years yet. The sergeant laughed quietly and went back to work documenting his missing persons.
Welcome to Krystal Clear Lore. I'm Crystal Lance, and today it's just, once again, me and my producer, only this time. We've decided that we need to be even in a closer, tighter closet because I really am not a fan of today's topic.
She's terrified.
We've had to stop recording a couple times because I don't like these things at all, and I've definitely saged the heck out of our recording closet.
Yeah, I didn't know we were going to come across an episode where you had to take a scared break or a fear break.
So today's topic is skinwalkers. They are the one, I want to say, paranormal entities / cryptid that... they're the one that gives me the heebie-jeebies. So I wanted to kind of get them out of the way so that I could just move on and we never have to talk about them ever again.
She's in her heebie-jeebie robe.
It's also cold. I'm in my robe because it's cold. Rude.
Anyway, the Skinwalker.
Yeah, so...
Hang on. Sorry about background noise, folks. We're in a closet. Things are falling on me.
We're
just going to keep it in because that's funny.
Let's see. So they are native, I want to say quote unquote native, to the southwest United States, especially Arizona.
As the story was taking place in Flagstaff.
Page, Arizona.
Oh, Page. They mentioned Flagstaff. He was from Flagstaff.
Yeah, he was heading to Flagstaff.
Yeah. What was it? Provo. Sorry.
They're from Provo.
That's
Utah.
The one.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then he was headed to Flagstaff, and yeah. So.
Yeah.
Well, now that I've butchered geometry.
It's not even close to the
we
right
can continue
thing.
with the Skinwalker.
That wasn't even close to the right subject.
Well, you're the professor, so.
Okay. Skinwalkers are humans that change into animals. They seem to change into wolves. This usually makes them get lumped into the same category as werewolves, like our friend the Rougarou a few weeks back.
Shout out to the Rougarou, episode 2.
However, unlike our 5 friends in the dancing Rougarou tale, skinwalkers are made by their own choice. There's no accidental bite and you get turned, nothing. It's something they have to choose.
That is, I think, some of the intensity coming from this cryptid, this paranormal entity.
I think that's why they give me the heebie-jeebies, is they have to choose to walk down the path of darkness. That's something they have to actively and willfully do.
Like Darth Vader. Is he a cryptid?
If we talk about Darth Vader, we're literally sidelining this whole thing because that's a whole discussion and a half.
Yeah, we'll save that for the Krystal Clear movies or something. Krystal Clear cinema, who knows? But anyway, point being, so what is the process then if you have to choose? It sounded like in the story it talked about renewing a contract of life.
We'll get there. So we're going to talk about where they come from.
Well, sorry
right?
for jumping ahead.
The Skinwalker legend, it is Navajo tribe only. It does not exist in any other tribe. So if you're seeing it in any other native tribe, it's not a Skinwalker.
Well, that one sure broke out then, if it's pretty exclusive. It really broke out because I've heard, it's pretty famous. I've heard of the Skinwalker. It's been in a lot of different like TV shows and stuff.
Yeah, it's a popular one.
Yeah. It's been depicted, I'm sure, in a lot of different like comics and anime, and probably been reproduced as other things, copied from or whatever, borrowed from.
So they have a Navajo name, and I will not say it because if you say the Navajo name, it's like a beacon, right? They focus right on you with that. So with us recording so close to Samhain, I'm not taking that risk. Sage or no sage, I'm just not doing it.
Fair enough.
The Navajo, though, it does translate to, with it, he or she goes on all fours.
Oh. So like the wolf, right?
Yeah, or they do transform into other ones, but yeah, wolf is their big one.
Maybe just more a beast in general, right? I would think. That's how I kind of interpreted it.
The stories depict skinwalkers as purely evil beings. They are seen as dark sorcerers that only get their powers from specific, cruel, and taboo acts, such as murdering a close family member.
Oh.
They are the most unpredictable and dangerous witch in Navajo folklore, and by witch I do mean like anybody that uses magic, because when it comes to witchcraft, I would say there's like a sliding scale between what's white magic, and then it goes into gray magic, and then it's black magic. So
is this kind of like a ritualistic thing where you would have to have intent and all that?
You would have to. So
it's not like you just kind of do it, and then I can choose to be a skinwalker now.
No, yeah, you have to intend to kind of get yourself set up for, like, you have to murder your close family member. So that means you have to murder somebody in your immediate family.
Jeez. Well, so
to start that path, like, no, thank you.
It's more than just a normal blood sacrifice. Then there's a lot more skin in the game, if you will.
Yeah. So most often they do change into wolves, coyotes, or foxes. However, they have also been known to take on the shape of deer, owls, and bears.
Oh my.
However, like as we saw in our story, they are unable to perfectly mimic their gait. They cannot, like, if you see like the AI videos and stuff on TikTok, they're not right when they walk and stuff.
Yeah.
They're just a little
Bambi,
off.
like Bambi.
Yeah, kind of like Bambi. I just think about that for a minute.
That infamous like scene where he's trying to get his legs.
Yeah, but where he's kind of jerky, trying to walk. Yeah, that's kind of, they don't walk like how you assume like a deer would normally walk.
No, they are a skinwalker.
Exactly. You can, to find any of those videos, just hashtag Skinwalker will pull up a lot of stuff about them.
Like I said, this one's pretty infamous, and I'm surprised it broke out like it did. Like she said, because of the exclusivity of the native tribe,
it's just the Navajo.
I mean, it's not like that's going to be world famous most of the time. So, but it's really creepy.
They are creepy, and they're always off too. So if you ever see an animal in the wild and it's just like, it's off. If it's not just that they're moving weird, sometimes their tracks aren't proportional to the animal size. So it'll be like a deer, but the track is like massive or like itty bitty.
Right.
It doesn't look right.
Now, is it just the gait that's off, or are they also just a little bit like uncanny valley triggering?
Sometimes you can be uncanny valley. Now, I've seen this AI video, and it was a good one. It was a deer with a twisted neck. And that would be one of the things, because they can't get it exactly right. They're just a little off with their animal transformations.
I see.
Something's just like, you just look at it and you're like, something's off here.
Well, that's the creepiest thing to me, because like less about animals, but I think about like what you never know if a person you knew could be a skinwalker. Unless you really knew how they walked.
That might be more of doppelganger territory.
That's kind of more what I'm thinking of, but with skinwalkers, I've always just kind of conflated them, I guess, but like thought about more of like what it would be like if a human did that. So I guess that is more doppelganger.
That's a doppelganger, and gangers are a whole other topic.
Yeah. I don't come across like a lot of random wild animals though in my life, so it's just like I don't think I can ever come across a skinwalker much. But like now
moose.
you're making me nervous to go on hikes.
We have moose in the yard sometimes. It happens. Just get a giant young moose, went the wrong way and came in the middle of town.
That's even creepier considering it's not like we live in the forest.
We live on the edge of the forest.
But still,
the forest is 1 block away.
It's funny, you know. Could be a skinwalker.
Not up here. We're not in Arizona. No Navajos.
Oh, we didn't know. Come on. They can spread out. We have U-Haul.
Do you want me to sleep tonight?
Fair enough.
There we go.
They're only going to stay there when we're not at.
Exactly.
Everywhere we're not at is where they are, not here.
Perfect. So they do have the ability to shapeshift into animals, but that's not the only thing they can do.
Oh, wait, so do they have a form that's not the animal that they're mimicking?
They have like their human form, and then they have their mimicking animal form.
Oh, okay.
And they do have to have the skin of the animal they're trying to turn into. You know, so like if it's a Navajo man, like Sergeant, like the sergeant whose name I already forgot,
Sergeant Bellybottom or whatever
it was, he would have like a deer skin on him. When when he's starting to transform.
Fair enough. I mean, those are abundant, you know.
It has to.
Gosh, if you go to Cabela's, you don't even need to worry.
So I dig into primary sources for this, and I hit really hard walls on skinwalkers.
Well, yeah, like the exclusivity.
Not just that. The Navajo tribe will not talk about them.
Oh, that's fair. So you're just
it's like a taboo. It's a taboo subject.
Yeah.
So
you're stuck to whatever's written already.
Yeah, and I'm trying to find stuff, and it seems like you have to kill. Like the person has to kill the animal itself.
Okay.
Right. So it's a messed up.
There's just a whole lot of stuff going on there, but that intent is just very evil.
Very
and
evil.
It makes it very menacing because they want to be it, and they have that bloodlust.
Yep. And so
it drives them to keep getting the blood.
To circle back to what we're talking about, the other abilities that they have is that they can mimic any human or animal noise perfectly.
Oh.
So just like the sergeant was able to mimic Mike's voice after he died, they have also been reported to lure humans out by like making sounds like of a baby crying, or a family member calling out to them for help. Anything to get someone alone.
Now that's creepy, and a bit reminiscent of which particular big cat is it that kind of sounds like a crying baby? Is it like the cougar?
No, house cats.
Yeah, but out in the wilderness, there's like tales in the jungle of, it's like the panther, but it will sound just like a crying baby, and it's usually a cat.
I would have to double check.
Or it's like weird. It's like maybe I'm conflating it, but there's a scream, a really high pitched woman scream. That's it.
That's a woman scream. That's the cougar. Yeah,
that's what I was thinking of. Yeah, not a crying baby. There's another animal that's a crying baby.
Yeah, so I don't. I've only heard a cougar scream in like videos.
Yeah.
And
exactly, me too. I don't think I've ever heard it at night. Can you imagine camping and hearing that? Oh my
no,
God.
Thank you.
I'm getting creeped out now thinking about forest nighttime. Is dang creepy.
I love cougars.
Adding Skinwalker to my things to be creeped out about while camping is not good. So I guess I'm staying out of Arizona now.
We're just not.
I used to have these ambitions to travel around the world, but now the more and more we read about these terrifying monsters, I'm gonna stay home. And there's this show on, I think it was History Channel a long time ago, Monsters Inside Me, about parasites, and it's a lot of you listeners will probably have seen it in America.
Was it History or Discovery?
It's one of those two, but it was like about parasites, and it would just all these episodes about different ones, and that show made me never want to leave the house, especially the country, and so this podcast is having a bit of a unintended consequence on my psyche, but I'll have to just be a tough boy.
You'll be fine. You're good.
I can't be a scared widow brother.
So the other thing is, the reason they're so good at like mimicking some sounds too, so they're also can read your mind. So
yeah.
In order to know,
so you're just adding this other intense layer to it. No, okay, all of a sudden they're psychic.
So if people were like, well, how did the Skinwalker know Travis's name? Well, he probably read it from Mike's mind before he killed him.
Yeah.
And then, they lure a person out.
Yeah, okay, hang on. Yeah, of course that just clicked. Of course it would have to be a bit psychic to be able to
mimic it perfectly.
Lure, to lure properly.
And then once that person that they're trying to lure is alone, that's when they end up cursing you. Most of the time cursing. Sometimes
Ooh.
kill, but most of the time they curse you. Their entire mission is to cause suffering, which can include injury and death.
All right, marry, curse, kill. Wendigo, Rougarou, Skinwalker.
No, I'm absolutely
joking.
going to kill the Skinwalker. No.
First thing.
I don't curse because that's black magic and that's bad juju.
Oh, I have a lot of black juju.
all the bad juju. So part of black magic, for those that aren't aware, the intent of black magic is to cause harm, right?
Yes.
So even if you are a purported, if you're saying, well, I only do my stuff for good, but then you go and hex somebody, well, you just moved your little ticker on the slider a couple notches closer towards black magic than white.
Yeah.
So it's a sliding scale. I mean, but like,
we gotta have, magic is a whole nother subject.
Yeah.
Probably should wait for Krystal Clear history.
I don't know. I'm so tired.
But I find it fascinating that they came up with a tale. So I'm wondering, a tale so creepy. I was wondering a little bit if they. Sorry, I kind of lost my train of thought due to the real train you may hear in the background.
Yeah,
it distracted me. But I was wondering if they came up with this maybe due to like I don't know, interlopers, or even just a member from their tribe that might have just kind of lost it a little bit and started acting like an animal and doing weird shit and then murdered some fools. Do you think it could be based on a little bit of truth? Of course, maybe they wouldn't talk about it. I don't want to
talk about it.
I don't want to be disrespectful in this speculation either. So I do apologize if I am. If I offend anybody in just asking that because you don't even want to answer. That's fine. Just let me know, and I am genuinely curious because a lot of tales in general and folklore in general, there's a little bit of truth to it. It came from something, right?
Exactly.
So I am always curious in that. I'm always curious in what could have caused them to come up with the tale of the Skinwalker. It's obviously not a person coming from a different tribe, but like acting like an animal. What could else it be? Maybe like a rabid animal?
I would have loved to know, but because of the way I research, right? So I start with like some published books, and then I go digging and I hunt down these primary sources as much as I possibly can. But when your primary source of information, the Navajo tribe, is like, we just don't talk about it.
Yeah.
I'm hitting hard walls where I wasn't hitting them with like the Rougarou or even the Talipo, which didn't have a lot of information about it, but I wasn't hitting this hard wall of just like, oh, they just straight up don't talk about it. So
and that's why I want to be respectful, and I hope I'm not being disrespectful just by even asking, speculatively. But it's so fascinating to think about where that came from, even if it was complete fiction. And dang, that's a twisted mind.
That's the thing.
That's some old Navajo Stephen King.
And you could argue that, of course, it's not, because magic exists in a completely different way to Native American tribes than even to, like, if you think about magic in like a Celtic regard, it's completely different.
Yeah, because depictions of the native magic is always very, very ritualistic. And there's always a lot of like rhythmic, like what would you call that? Like invoking like rhythmic magic almost, or something, or using rhythmic patterns, both with drums and dancing.
All magic uses that.
Well, forgive my ignorance.
Not all. I would say like a lot of magic uses that.
Now I'm picturing like some of the tropes of pagan rituals. So yeah,
a lot of the bigger rituals all use that. I don't know one that doesn't.
Man, you just think about it. It takes a long time to get to be a Skinwalker, right? You got to do all that work and the tragic and horrific murder of your family member, and then man.
I found a few stories where they were like, yeah, so they kill their own kids. And I was like, I'm going to nope out of that story. Thanks. We're just never going down that rabbit hole.
Yeah. That's quite a rabbit hole I don't want to travel down as well. A terrifying rabbit hole of blood and gore.
Yeah, no. All right. So the last power that I found that they're rumored to have is that they can travel using doors between worlds.
Oh my gosh, it just keeps getting worse.
So a lot of modern stories don't include this, right? A lot of modern legends and tales, it doesn't have that in there. But and one of the books that I use, I'll have to put in the bibliography for this. Here it is. J.W. Auchler, author of The United States of Cryptids, got a Navajo guide, who I will not name because he used a fake name even in the book. He got a guide to take him to the Upper Antelope Canyon.
Ooh, sounds like a cool canyon.
Antelope Canyon is pretty narrow, but it's 660 feet long and was created by flowing water.
Yes.
It's deep in the Navajo reservation in Arizona, so it's completely inaccessible to those without a guide.
Oh, man.
And because the Navajo really don't like to talk about skinwalkers, not a lot of people even really kind of knew about this before the book got published.
Oh.
And they really also don't like talking to outsiders because the last thing you want is someone who has this half harebrained idea of what to do and then causes a whole bunch of problems with these.
I never even considered the angle of like a megalomaniac fool. Oh, I gotta go, just wanting the power of the murder.
Oh, well, there's a bunch of people too that are go like, oh, well, if you say their name, then they're gonna come for you, and they go shout in the woods. They just shout Skinwalker, and I'm like, that's not their name. Don't use their Navajo name. You can find it. Don't use it. Don't say it. Don't do nothing.
I'm not even gonna Google that.
Just don't.
Just don't. It's terrifying. Just being in. Oh, that story got to me with the forest part with the deer. Oh, where he realized it was the deer saying it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what's the terrifying to me part. If I had to narrow it down, it's the perception that you obviously think you hear someone you know, and obviously coming from a deer. Oh, just that jolt, that chill up your spine. The hairs raising up and. Oh.
Right. All right.
That's a good one. I really enjoyed that story, and I really enjoy the Skinwalker. I enjoyed learning about the Skinwalker now.
Well, he's also in another news article. I have found so many weird news articles from the late 19th or late,
right. This is my favorite part of the
last ones
podcast.
came late 19th century, early 20th century. This one came in 1987, which is far more recent than I would have imagined skinwalkers showing up in news articles.
Oh, cool. This is my favorant part of the podcast.
So in Flagstaff, Arizona, a 40-year-old Navajo woman, Sarah Saganisto, I might say that wrong, I apologize, was found dead behind the hospital where she worked. George Abney, a former English professor at Northern Arizona University, was accused and arrested for her murder. But during his trial, his defense attorney was like, skinwalkers were the actual murderers. Sarah had a broken stick across her throat and a clump of graveyard grass near her truck, which they were able to be like, well, that's skinwalker stuff. He wouldn't do that. That's like a skinwalker ritual.
Oh.
However, so Abney was originally found guilty, but then he appealed his case and he was acquitted a year after that.
Dang.
And the more I dug into this, the more I realized this is a really controversial case.
Because it got involved in the courts.
Yeah, and it was only the 87 was 40 years ago?
Yeah, that was not that long ago.
This is really not that long ago. You and I have friends that are older than that.
Wow. But wow, true believers there.
Right? But because of, it was just, the more I looked into it, the more it looked like some people really thought it was George 100%, he did this. And then people were like, no, there was no way. And then some people really did believe skinwalkers did it just because of how everything kind of lined up. And she was Navajo, so it really lended some credence to that. If she had been white, I don't think the skinwalkers would have ever been brought up.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Just because of the cultural identity with that. But I am fascinated how many times I am finding news articles about cryptids.
Yeah, they just go completely under the radar if you're not looking for them, huh? It's kind of funny.
I've been very, very shocked. So,
I almost think you should just fucking do a compilation of them all.
Oh God, there's so many.
Into like one work of cryptid news.
But sometimes there's so many, especially with like the Wendigo. It's just like there's like 20 of these.
Yeah, it should be like a database of just news articles specifically about them for, your Patreon members.
There you
or
go.
whatever.
Set up a Patreon, y'all can get it there.
I don't know, that'd be kind of cool. Anyway.
All right, so how to beat them?
That's the most important part.
There is a way to beat them, but it's not easy. So good luck with this.
Now, the first step is to understand them, and so we already got that down.
Well, you must learn their true human identity.
Ooh, that's fun.
But
Do a little mystery.
if you learn their true human identity, you need a person of Navajo descent to proclaim them to be a skinwalker. And 3 days after, that person either becomes ill or dies due to the karmic justice of all the ill they had caused.
Ooh.
Which there is a karmic rule that I grew up learning, right, in my semi-weirdly magical family. It's complicated. Is what you reap, you sow 3 times over. So with all the ill that they put out in the world, that comes back to them 3 times over in 3 days.
Gosh.
And that is, sometimes the sergeant was killing people, so.
Yeah, so how do you do that 3 times over? 3 times?
Well, it depends on how, so like if it's like an agonizing death, say he killed 20 people, but they were quick and painless deaths, well, he's going to have a, massively agonizingly slow death.
Jeez.
Or something like that. I'm not in charge of karma. I'm just, that one I'm kind of shooting off the cuff.
I'll just have to trust in karma on that one.
Yeah, that sounds right. However, if you cannot figure out the true human identity, you can kill them, but it's much, much harder. They're very agile and very fast. You will need a bullet coated with white ash.
Ooh. White ash of any kind?
It just said white ash, so I assume so.
Well, that's not that bad. You just have a campfire.
A white ash, though, and you can't have. See, I think it has to be specific things to burn to get the white ash.
Interesting, because I just most of the ashes from a campfire are white.
Yeah,
but maybe they're not white enough. That's gray.
A lot of it's gray.
Yeah. Sage makes a very white ash.
It does.
Maybe it means sage ash. You should Google that at some point.
Yeah, it's a very specific thing. I would also double check with a Navajo person.
I'll get a couple bullets coated in that.
But that's a good luck because they're so fast and agile. They can, everything that's in here so far can outpace humans really easily because there are predators.
Yeah,
so of course they would be able to.
That's that primal fear.
Yeah.
Just out in the jungle. It's just you and the predator. And of course, we're kind of soft little meat sacks. We don't really stand a chance against many things unless we're in great numbers when using our brains. Yeah,
we have to be able to, you have to know your enemy, and then you have to set up traps and stuff.
Exactly. Now, if you don't have no bullets, can you substitute an arrow with the white ash? Is it just the white ash?
Perhaps it has to.
I guess you probably wouldn't know.
It has to pierce their heart.
Oh.
And that's the hard
thing.
Okay.
Ooh, you got to be a good shot too. Well, we need to work on our aim. We need to get some ash. The other unintended consequence of this podcast is I'm starting to plan an arsenal just in cases.
We'll just that'll be our first thing of merch. Yeah. It's an arsenal.
We're gonna need. God, they don't make cars with bigger trunks anymore.
No,
so we're gonna have to go find an old Cadillac or something.
Hey, that's why the Winchester brothers always drove that old Chevy Impala because it's got a big old trunk.
It's starting to make a lot of sense now.
Yeah, things are adding up quick.
Yeah, so I'm freaking terrified of skinwalkers now.
Okay, well,
I'm not going in the woods. Or in the Arizona.
I'll leave you with this as a reminder. They are not to be taken lightly. The Navajo will not talk about them because they are that dangerous.
Yes.
So if you think you see one, please don't be a hero. Don't be an idiot and try to follow it. Just go. Just leave.
Just go home.
They don't even care. They will literally... They do not seem to have a concept of what an innocent bystander is.
Yeah.
If they see you, you can just be a target.
It's kind of like a wasp.
Yeah.
And that's why that's the core reason I'm afraid of wasps. It's just that stinking, when they go for you in their brain, it's the kill mentality. They're just going for it.
Yeah,
and
they don't
That's
care.
Scary to me.
They don't care. They'll just take you out.
Yeah, and that's scary to me, and that's why I'm afraid of bears and stuff like that, just those terrifying predators. So, and this is about 100 times scarier than wasps and bears.
And my opinion. It did take some creative liberties with the sergeant having a contract for his life. Mm-hmm. I found some stories referencing that, but nothing concrete. So creative liberty, because I don't actually know. I can't find anything because I'm hitting weird walls. Probably for good reason. I'm going to be honest, it's probably for good reason.
If you manage to break down some of those walls, we'll have to do a sequel.
Yeah.
which I think would be really cool and creepy.
The only way I think I ever could is if we went down to Arizona itself and talked to some Navajo, but...
You can fund this trip, ladies and gentlemen, at 1-800... No, I'm just joking.
However, I really don't know if they'll talk to us about it because they're just...
It would be hard, but you are an academic and respectful and cool.
Yeah, it's just... I don't know if they would talk to me. They might, but also they might
maybe
not.
We might, maybe one of the listeners might have a word in or something that can get us just to hook up on some info.
Yeah.
You never know. But at least for now, as far as the information available...
Yeah, I hope we've made the Skinwalker crystal clear.
Bye.
Follow us on Threads and Insta at Wormsong Media. That's WYRMSONG Media. Want to reach out to us? Email us at wormsongmedia@gmail. Again, that's WYRMSONGMEDIA@gmail.